how you're feeling, what's going on. What is your check on the community? How does the community feel to you?
Well, it probably feels great, like butterflies. I just feel really good this week. I'm in such a great creative flow, and I feel very productive. And I feel like an energy. Maybe it's spring coming. For the community, I've seen this week, I feel like things are flowing well. I guess my only thought is like, oh my gosh, March 1 is next Monday. Is that really happening? And are we going to be ready? And what do we need to do for like all hands on deck to get where we need to go? Some of it's out of our control, but what can we affect that will help the process? So I guess that's what I'm coming to in this meeting is like, what can I do or take responsibility for that's helping for us to be on track? Maybe it's already happening, but yeah, community feels good. We're in a nice flow, but is that flow? Do we need to light a fire under it a bit? Or are we already in the fire? So where are we at with all that? And I don't have any distractions. And, should I pass to Zepti?
Thank you, Jess. Yeah, I think like the flow is going great, and yeah, there is a bunch of we are working so fast. I'm a bit skeptic about the launch because it's only 1 month ahead, but yeah, let's see how it goes. And yeah, super excited and with a lot of energy. I'll pass it to Juan.
Juan, are you there?
Would you like to go, Olivia?
Yeah, I'm feeling really good. Feeling excited about everything that is happening and a bit like trying to organize myself better to finish things. Yeah, I feel like the community is really shaping into a common understanding of what we're doing. And this feels awesome and maybe needed a time to get to this place. I really enjoyed the call we had now with Eduardo and to see how like synced the perspectives are and that we're so close to the hatch and more people were joining with a little bit more of understanding, which are also cool. Like it feels like people are researching about us and trying to understand and then coming to the calls with questions already. Yeah, really awesome stuff as always. And I pass to Jake.
Okay, well, I kind of was spacing out a little bit, and I'm gonna, because Griff did that. He can, I can. But I gotta like honestly, like when I was talking to Mitch and our AMA, we were talking about side chains and how cool XDAI is. And like this morning, I got a notice. Now, some of this might not really make a lot of sense to you, but I got a notice from FTX this morning that soon you will individually have to pay the Ethereum fees on your ERC20 tokens or your ETH if you want to move it from the exchange. They won't pay for that anymore. So fees have gotten so insane that now if you want to move your money on an exchange, you're going to have to pay that additional cost. And why does this really matter to us? This is going to push a lot of people off into different aspects of side chains and whatnot. Because when the exchanges start making you pay those costs, people now aren't even good. Because one aspect of Uniswap that why people are still using exchanges centralized is because the exchange pays the fees. If you can't get around, and now you're stuck. And now Sam's making money and you're not. And people aren't going to want to do that, and they're going to look for alternatives. So stuff like HoneySwap, all other alternatives that are going to continue to pop up, like it's just good for the space, is all I'm saying. It's just really good for the space, and this ends up helping TEC. Trust me, it may seem like a long shot, but it's there. It's there. These are things that need to take place. And usually this is kind of how the whole space works. It starts with an exchange, unfortunately, because that's where a majority of money going in and out is constantly happening. And the fact that FTX is now doing this is like, that's really nuts. So like, I mean, this is crazy, but imagine you're trading with large size on that exchange. They've been covering your ETH costs up until now. And now you're going to move your $1 million off, and now you're going to pay all of that. You're going to pay that fee at whatever it is. Like, it's pretty nuts. But anyways, go TEC.
Yeah, let's go back to the TEC community. Did you finish, or do you want to pass it on, Jake?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry guys, but it was in my head this morning. I just wanted to share it because it's good for XDAI. It's good for the space. I'm sorry. I'll pass it to Juan. Are you ready?
Yes, I was having connection issues. Thanks, Jake. Well, I think things are going good. I have had a really moved week since I am physically moving into a new apartment, and also I assumed the new Discord migration, as well as having certain Graviton like responsibilities. And I'm really happy that another community approached to us, and that they have felt respect and gratefulness, and that they have reacted really good to the approach that I have given to their situation they explained. And I have had like a good response from the people that I have approached. And also I have had a lot of insights, like about the importance of the things that we are doing to avoid certain issues, and why other communities can look up to us and look at what we are doing to improve, and to like see all these things that we are asking ourselves, and why are we so careful before launch, and with all our documents, and with all our shared rules, because yeah, I think those are like the things that we are doing, that besides all of the technology, also makes us special, and makes us like very sensitive to all the topics in the ecosystem. So for me, it's been a really good week, and I also want to bring my energy and my full attention and into designing a good plan to make the migration to the new Discord, because I think that like it's a process, and maybe it's not something that we have to do from one day to another, but it's good like to start giving our first step, and like to talk about this in these calls, so that we can all be on the same page, and like be ready to in a moment say let's go for lunch, and just like everyone checks. I don't know who else is missing. Sorry.
Griff, would you like to go next? Thanks for coming.
Yeah, he checked on the community. I think things are going well. Yeah, I mean, you know, I feel like we were on cruise control this week. Like things are just advancing. You know, now it feels like we're a machine, and it doesn't feel that much different this week from last week. You know, it just feels like the constant progress at a steady rate. So that, yeah, I don't have any like extremely important topics or anything. And I'll pass it to Zeptimus. Did you go?
Yeah, I already went. I'll pass it to Lucas.
Sorry, I'm just here for the context.
Cool. We're just doing a heat check on how you feel around our community this past week. If you'd like to say a comment or two.
Yeah, I'm a little I'm a little on hiatus at the moment, so I'm still just trying to understand what the heck we're doing over here. Primarily because I keep being asked exactly what we're doing, and I find that I don't have enough of an overview for my my turquoise brain, so it drives me a little nuts when I don't get the full overview. So so I just kind of you guys are awesome, and I love you all, and I know that there's a bigger plan. I'm just trying to understand it.
You can always say we are advancing token engineering.
Yeah.
Say that again? Oh, advancing token engineering.
Yeah, that's not as meaningful to me as it is to the rest of you. So.
Yeah. Okay. And I guess from my perspective, I would say it feels like we are making progress in small steps. And I think that we're starting to take initiatives that will grow fruit later. And I'm very excited for those initiatives, like, moving to Gravity. Not moving to Gravity. Gravity being the moderator for the new TEC Discord, and moving to the new TEC Discord where we can get lots of more conversations happening, I think. And the stewards will have their own channel, so I'm a little excited about that too. And the outreach, the Hatcher outreach, starting to have weekly sessions so that people can come ask questions about Hatchers, about becoming a Hatcher, and it's not the sort of very slow one-on-one sessions that we've been planning. So I think we're making really small steps that will have big gains later. Okay, I think do we have a spotlight for tomorrow? I'm going to throw this on as number 2. Eduardo's not on this call, but I don't know if anyone else knows if there's a spotlight speaker for tomorrow.
Let me check one message thread that I haven't attended, and I'll let you know.
Okay.
I've got somebody for next week. Sherman with Token Kitchen said she'd do next week. Oh, Electric Circus. Blah, blah. Okay, apparently we have Electric Circus this Thursday.
Cool, for tomorrow?
Yeah, for tomorrow. I gotta double check. So Shebnam is suggesting, because they have 2 projects out of this conversation that Eduardo and I were having. So we can have Electric Circus go tomorrow, and we've got 2 projects in the hopper. So we've got Electric Circus tomorrow, and then we've got Decad and or Sherman for next week and the week after. So we've got tomorrow and the next 2 weeks covered, it looks like, but I will revert and confirm.
Hey, Jess. I just want to ask. There's this guy. He's in. His name's Kinshasa.f, but he's also YGG knows him. He made this sick app that it NFTs your beats and your rap, and it's like 30. It's sick. It's so cool.
It's really cool, but I don't know that there's a token engineering application. I didn't get a chance to ask him, but I mean, he said it's going to become open source, I think, but I got to look a little deeper at it. But I guess it depends if he's got a particular TE-related open source code or model that would come out of it. So do you want to check with him and see if you think it passes our litmus test?
I'll talk to him. I hope so, because the thing's freaking cool.
It's so cool. I looked at it. I didn't get a chance. I reached out to him a little bit, but I didn't get a chance to get deeper. So if you could do that, actually, that'd be awesome. If you want to see if it really applies to TE, it's kind of on the fringe. If he's got like an NFT application,
yeah, they're like shiny new shoes. Yeah, it's like,
cool,
that's so cool. I want to wear them. But yeah,
it's cool, but I don't know. I'm feeling like maybe it's not a fit.
Hey, Jess, this is really a question for you. You probably know. Is this the document where we're keeping the dates for our spotlight, or should we put it in the body of the issue?
We've been doing both. We've been updating the curate sheet plus tracking it in that GitHub issue.
Okay. I'm not seeing it in the sheet. Maybe I'm the wrong. Would be here?
Yeah, it just because it's not in there yet because we haven't had really an outside presenter for the last weeks. But I will ask Eduardo with me to make sure it's updated.
Okay, excellent. All right. And then just a reminder for everyone on what is advice process. It was one of the actions that we wanted to take in this sprint, which is why it came out of our retrospective. So it's why I'm bringing it up. And essentially, it's the key to making self-management working on a large scale. So generally, decisions are either somebody decides and everyone else follows, or it's consensus. So everyone has to agree on something. And advice process is the solution to avoiding the disadvantages of those two decision-making processes. The rules are super simple. Anyone can make a decision, but you seek advice from people that decision will impact or experts. So think about if you have a decision to make using advice process this week, next sprint, going forward to make those decisions. Things aren't hierarchical or consensus. We're that in-between self-managing style. Okay, so the Community Stewards Manifesto. So I found out what was blocking me from revising the Community Stewards Manifesto, and it was I didn't want to overwrite the work that we did in that one hack session. So I kept getting blocked because I didn't want to delete anything. So I took that document and I made a copy, and the original document still exists for basically, archival purposes, or if we ever want to go back to it, because I thought that it was a lot of good input from all of us. And now we have a draft stewards. It is open for comment, and please do go in and make some comments. But essentially, it will be so the steward and how to reach the steward. I added that, but I know we don't have to add that. And then our goals, steward support to help each other, nurture community, planning and execution sort of go hand in hand, I guess. Our shared vision, maintaining knowledge, and vision and values are our main goals. And how it benefits the TEC is the coordination between all of the different work groups facilitates achieving our objectives. There's also I did pull in some of the original wording as well, just to sort of keep that spirit. So moving forward in the same direction for culture and keeping the horizontal structure of TE evolving and supporting TE projects and community. As you can see, Olivia has already done some additions to this. Thank you, Olivia. So what would be considered success or failure? So success is we're all working well together, coordination is happening, there's a lot of visibility of what it is that we're doing. The community feels nurtured. Allow for and protecting organic growth and decentralized activities, initiatives, and community engagement and high vibes. Every member of the community can request assistance when they are blocked, fractal development of initiatives, have a clear process for onboarding stewards and contributors, and have a clear process to offboard stewards. I feel like this is maybe more than success for community stewards. This is success for TEC. So maybe I think I would consider pulling some things out. But I'd love your feedback on that too. I think some of this might be work specific for a specific group and not so much the community steward group. And then failure is, the working groups are operating in silos and are cross-pollinating. There's too much control and it becomes hierarchical, and there's too much centralized decision-making. We're not aligned with our mission and values as a team, and we're not supporting the community, or there's a lack of transparency and communication. So far, so good. Roadmap is really our product backlog, and there's a link to a sprint board here. in fact, it's a link to our Zen Hub board, and then we can look through sprints. And the high-level roadmap, which is still a work in progress, is here. The deadline, there really is no deadline for as long as it continues to benefit. Thank you. As long as it continues to benefit the TE, this group shall probably keep running. If it turns out that it's not benefiting and there's some other way to do it, then of course this working group, like all, could be dismantled or repurposed. Working style, this is what everyone knows. We have weekly Wednesday calls, this one on Discord. They're open to anybody who wants to join. We have our community calls on Thursday. We have a Telegrams group that we will hopefully very soon be moving to Discord, and we could figure out when that is with Juan Carlos in the next
excuse me,
few minutes.
I have a question. Why do you have this, especially on Discord? Like, you could use Zoom or even Google Meet if you want, but yeah. That's all.
Yeah. Good question, Kuan. It's a little distracting from our agenda. I would say that.
No,
which
it's
is,
okay.
Discord is where all the people are meeting.
You can answer it another time.
Okay. All right. So we have the Stewards Telegram group, which will be moving to Discord, and then like the bi-weekly sprint planning and retrospective sessions. And then it talks, we write a little bit about sprint planning, the review, and the retrospective. Who are the members? They are the stewards. They may have an active working group. They may be leads right now. They may not be leads right now. But they are people that have experience and knowledge of the TEC. Onboarding and offboarding. So there's really, I guess, a need for us now to have a lot. So the process that has been drafted so far, or that was defined in one of the reference docs that Livia added, is as new stewards can be nominated by at least 2 other stewards, and it is by consensus. So if no one blocks the nomination, the steward receives an onboarding call, they're onboarded and welcomed to the stewards group. And if someone blocks the nomination, we turn to the Gravity Working Group for resolution to understand why. And offboarding, if a steward becomes inactive, fails to assume repeatedly, or breaks the code of conduct, they can be invited to leave by another steward with the consensus of all members. I think this is probably the part that I would like us to discuss and see if we want to, concretize these, and concretize isn't a word, but make these concrete for this first version, or we want to adjust this. And if it's okay, I'm going to just call on people through, call people. And maybe I'll start with you, Griff, because I don't know that I know your thoughts on this yet.
I definitely don't like that it requires consensus to people. I feel like maybe it should be like, I agree that it shouldn't be 2 votes, but it could be there should be a process that doesn't require unanimous consensus to opt someone. Like, so I don't know what that answer is, but we need something better than that. Other than that, I think it's great as long as we have it and actually enforce it. So the other, who's explicitly appointed to enforce this idea, or if no one's assigned to it, does it happen? That's the question. So is there a role for onboarding an stewards group, and who is it?
Yeah, that's a good point, actually, because we have nominated both Marco and YGG, and they passed, but we haven't yet then done the next step, which is to, I think we haven't, reach out to them, invite them to the stewards group. So I actually am also wondering, Marco's well integrated now. I don't know that he had that one-on-one session with somebody to sort of formalize this process, and I don't know where YGG stands at all. If he knows he's been invited to be a steward, so I agree that we should have something that's some pattern that we can follow to do this. Who did you pass to, Griff? Okay.
I'll pass it to one.
Okay, thanks, Griff. I think this document is good. Maybe as we're doing, like changing some words, so like we manage like the best narrative that we can build together. But I think that the scope is really good, and yeah, I don't have any problem with it. Manifesto, I think it's very good. And about Marco, I talked with him today about this call, and he told me he wasn't going to be able to come, but I think that he was aware that of it. And I will pass to Septimus.
Yeah, sorry, I just want to interrupt quickly. Yeah, I think he I know that this is a call he can't make for timing reasons, but and I think he probably knows he's a steward. I just don't think that after we nominated him, I don't think we said, "Hey, you're a steward now. Welcome." I don't think that there's just like the sort of welcome into this group. And maybe going forward, we can find a way to do that more smoothly.
Yeah, I agree with you, Tom. Regarding the manifesto, I think that's right. And for being a new steward, I don't think like the stewards should get the stewards. I feel it should be more like the community. For me, it makes more sense because otherwise it would be very centralized, and I think that's not cool. But yeah, that's my feedback. I'll pass it to Jake.
I apologize. I'm eating. Yeah, yeah. It's kind of like, well, where is Marshawn? Anyways, I know they both like confetti, so I guess we could have a meeting the next time and throw confetti for it. Maybe we can hand out hats. Offboarding. I don't know. I mean, how do we offboard? Are we really concerned about that right now? I mean, you want to? Okay, I got an idea. 5 minutes role play. Due to personal circumstances and measurements in my life that I can actually handle directly or indirectly, I'm gone for another 2 weeks. What happens to tech params? What happens to everything? What if you have to let go of Jake? What's that look like?
Can I jump in? Yeah, I'll bite. I think that when people have personal crises in their life, that's not cause for stepping down from their stewardship role. I think as a team, we rally around and help that working group stay afloat until you can return. I think this is more about if people become very inactive, so 3 months, 6 months, just not joining meetings, not participating in Discord, not voting on proposals. It's a different use case than the one that you're expressing, or breaks the code of conduct, or does something against our I don't know, does something inappropriate, or has gone through graduated sanction. I mean, I think that there's probably a number of use cases that we will have eventually, but I think a personal crisis would not fall under them.
It's just about defining the boundaries, right? This is Eleanor Ostrom's number one, right? Like, okay, what is it? What does it mean to be a community steward? Is it a privileged position, or is it like once you're in, you have tenure in community stewardship? Like, I don't know. Like, it's just we have to have a clear boundary. We have to define a clear boundary. You have to have an.
Oh, I feel so much safer now. No, but I will definitely tenure. That's important. If people have been here and they've been contributing, they need to definitely be recognized and rewarded. That's a big thing.
Okay. And are you passing, or would you like to finish that
I'm really
thought?
sorry. You know, I was shoveling my face. I will pass this. I'll pass this on to Olivia. Olivia, have you gone?
No, thanks, Jake. Yeah, I have a few comments. So I think on the consensus to offboard, I agree. It doesn't need to be a consensus. Maybe consensus was a bad word, but just to prevent like one person assuming the authority of just offboarding someone else without the knowledge of the whole group. So I think it could be similar to the ones that nominate someone to become a steward, to be just a like, oh, hey, there is this person that is inactive now. Is it okay if I offboard them? And then if there's no blockers, then this can move forward. It doesn't need to be like a vote session or anything like formal, just communication. Everyone is aware. And then I also thought about what you said, Septimus, if the community should decide who are the stewards. But then I thought maybe you add like a huge overhead of like we would have to host a voting session, and then maybe there are blockers, but then the people that are blocking might not be so informed about how are the contributions that person is giving. And then there is like a tight group that is collaborating with each other. Then maybe it's important for this group to be harmonious and to understand who are they working with. But yeah, that's just my thoughts. But I'm also open to think of how we could open this up for a community decision. Maybe we can have like a place to where people can put down suggestions, and then we can discuss that in a community call, in an open call. Yeah, and then on what Jake said, I feel like it's good that the boundaries are somehow like, how can we keep the people that are inactive enough so nobody feels guilt about anything? I'm thinking personally, if I would leave for like a month or two, maybe I would prefer to be off-boarded and then onboarded again, rather than knowing that I have like this open thread that I don't know like how my life will follow, and that people were somehow dependent on me. So I think this could be like from the preference of each person, of like a case by case kind of thing, communicating of like, oh, I would like to step out, and then always have that door open to come back in kind of thing. Yeah, I think those are my thoughts. Oh, and last thing about onboarding someone, like who onboards the person. I thought it would be cool to have kind of a welcome party that multiple people onboards a new steward. So one person, the person that invited, could be responsible for setting it up, and then a bunch of us jump in and give this warm welcome. And I pass to Jack.
Did you say me? Sure. Yeah, great collective intelligence as usual, and looking at all the various angles. I like what Zevdi and Livia are saying about involving the community and deciding like these kind of rules and boundaries a little bit, but also balancing not too much overhead. And I guess the only other thing to add that hasn't been said is I feel like this nomination of asking someone to leave, I would propose that it go through gravity first as an advice process for like identifying what is the issue and is there a communication or other step before inviting someone to leave, because I feel like that's going from like 0 to 100 really fast. I feel like kind of a graduated or granular steps. So I would say the proposal would be to ask a person that wants to ask somebody to leave to submit a form, gravity, and go through an advice process and discuss with one or another graviton what is the issue being identified, what are the steps that have been taken, have those kind of qualms or expectations or whatever been communicated. And yeah, as communications person, I would advise, if the communications are always open, as Livy said, then we can have boundaries, but also with this like flexibility and understanding, coming from a place of like understanding and communication and being open about that, rather than like not talking or being close and then all of a sudden there's like an issue. So I hope that's helpful in the discussion. And I will pass it to, I think everyone has spoken, so I'll pass it back to you, Tam.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for all this. As Jess, you say, collective intelligence. My own reflections is that I think that I like the idea of onboarding have some number. I don't know if 2 is the right number or if it's like the percentage of the stewards. As we scale, we might find the number, the fixed number may not proportionate to the number of stewards. And the idea of having the community nominate stewards is also quite interesting. It's just not an angle that I've considered before, because the way new stewards have come into the group is just by being present a lot and then taking up work, and then suddenly they become a steward. So it's almost, a self-driving. The stewards are self-driving. They come into the community. They choose us more than we choose them. So I don't know that opening up to the community would be like, now we want to vote on people. I'm not sure I like the way this, people show up, they pick up pieces of work, and then that's sort of the trajectory to become a steward. And then offboarding, I like the idea of accountability. I mean, it seems like, maybe it's too much, but at the same time, like, let's be cautious and careful and make sure we're abiding by all of the, the ethos that we want in this community. So thanks for all of that. Yes.
Sorry, that there is an issue created for this offboarding. So I will paste the link of the issue so that we can comment on that issue. I was thinking that, this is a really important topic to discuss, but it's not in this sprint. So I will only tag it. So maybe if we can have some ideas, we can work on that on the next sprint.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay, and this is a living document. So I just wanted to get it ready to the point where we can post it in the forum and open it up to everybody, but it is going to continue to be a living document. I also added a section of what do we expect from being part of the community stewards group, and it's essentially, and I was thinking, there are groups and there are stewards that won't fit this perfectly. Mostly this is for the leads of the working groups, but there's someone, the Omega research group, which won't come to the sprint planning because they have their own cadence, or YGG and the TEC lab who have their own cadence. But generally, I'd say the general expectations are leading the biweekly calls, attending the sprint planning and retrospectives, representing your working group in the community stewards, and sharing your progress in the Thursday call. And then so much work has been done before this document. So they're the 3 documents that were used for sort of like the referential for putting this manifesto together at the bottom. Feel free to continue to add.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, Jess, what's up?
So I'm so sorry. I just was going to ask, any change? We just add comments straight in the document if we have any other thoughts. Okay.
That would be fantastic, actually, yes. Okay, so we have about 15 minutes left, and I would love us to do the Discord, but I'm just going to take 2 minutes before that. Okay, Juan Carlos? Or I'd love us to talk about migrating to the new Discord. I know that's something that is important for us to do today. We have a name. It's called A Rising Tide. So Sprint 4 is A Rising Tide, and all our boats are getting lifted this sprint. And I just want to say, if everyone can just have a quick look at our sprint board on your own time. We are at the halfway checkpoint. We have 4 closed and a bunch that are in progress and a bunch that haven't gotten started yet. So if you can update your issues and or move them if they're blocked or need review or whatever, that would be great. And now I will pass it to you, Juan Carlos, to talk about the migration details for the Discord server. So moving from the Token Engineering Discord to the Token Engineering Commons Discord, and what the next steps should be, and what questions you have about it.
Well, I think that this is something that should have like the consent of all the stewards. Like the video I sent yesterday and like go for launch. I think that everyone should give like the green light to do this, at least the stewards, so that we are on the same page and like think on what is going to be the date like from of the migration. And also I am proposing that the migration shouldn't be like hard in one day and like everyone moving at the same time. I mean, we can make a big like inauguration event, like Sebnen said, to invite people and like invite people to our new house. But I think also that it's good to have at least a little period of time where people can like adapt, and if people are still using the TE Discord, then have Septimus and I or other people moderating the Discord, telling them like, hey, now we are moving to the new Discord, please jump at this, and like don't erase all the message like for at least like a week or two, and maybe have also like company to the people that maybe has more questions. But I think that if the Discord is fully functional, as I understand it is, and maybe there are a few tweaks to do, we can start thinking if we want to add this into the next sprint, or if we want to like set a date for when it's going to be our last community call in this server. And yeah, I want to hear from you. When do you think would be the best day to start?
You have to choose someone.
He chooses me. I'm jumping in. Oh, I beat Jess to it. We both want to choose ourselves. You know, tomorrow's the Thursday call. It's always a good time to make announcements like that, and maybe, but maybe like announce the date there and just say like, hey, we're moving. All conversation is, you know, moving to the new Discord on Monday, and all the calls will happen on Monday. You know, starting Monday would be a good day to get. But like you said, we need that go. We need a go from everybody, right? Or that's what you're proposing. So, yeah, I'd say Monday, and you know that way Santi can still have his Friday call.
Okay, I am gonna take some notes in the stewards document. So yes, I see that Tam is already doing it. Like Thursday in the community call tomorrow, we are going to announce the date. and that on Monday we start having all our activities in the new Discord. And if people is lost, we will still be in the TE Discord, onboarding people to the new Discord. And also, I don't know if it would be too much of a rush, but it would be good to have then like a document explaining this migration maybe on the weekend. I can help with that.
I agree with Griff. I like that timing. I think just a question and some considerations as far as, so I talked to Angela to give her the heads up. I do think we could leave, like, I don't think more than 1 week, because maybe it's too much and too confusing to have it open too long. So if we say 1 week, if everybody agrees, and then Juan, I'm not sure, or Griff, if you know, is Kai bridging the channels so that the previous messages will be in the new Discord, and then we are more okay with deleting from TE? And then who will be the one to pull the trigger on deleting in TE? I can do that if you need, because I'm admin in TE. But yeah, I think I would suggest 1 week time, and if we can confirm that that bridging has been done so we can see previous messages and if that affects our decision making at all. And yeah, I can also do a graphic or Twitter announcement from TE. Because if we're moving to a new Discord and then we have still all of those channels open, it's like double. I was foreseeing we move, leave it open for a week, and then we're gonna delete and like move out of her server to give her more room to scale and expand, and we keep a bridge channel. We could have a few channels, but I don't think we need the 20 that we have now. I thought we were gonna delete definitely the voice channels and have a bridge, only a bridge channel, or yeah, so.
Of course, deleting the voice channels makes a lot of sense, but the other channels, I mean, I would just, when I look at the TE Discord, I see so many channels that have been sitting there forever that never get any action. Unless, did Angela ask us to delete them?
Not specifically. She's kind of open for discussion. So I just don't know why, like for me, we would have TEC general voting, comm, softgov, like Hadra outreach, all the working groups. We're not really going to be keeping those up in the old Discord. If the purpose is just for archiving, that's what I'm trying to find out, is the bridge. If the purpose is just for archiving, I don't see the need to have double active channels, but I can also see your point, Griff, and maybe more than one channel. So maybe we just need to think a little bit around what kind of interaction from TE side.
I mean, I would think we could leave them, like, we want the token engineers to come to TE, you know, to make it easy. Like, in the end, it's like you make one message in either one and you see it in both, right? It's like, I'm at least with Giveth, we still have our Slack up from like 2017, and messages go from Discord to Telegram to our old Riot, you know, channel, all the way to Slack, and they're still active. It's crazy. And people actually message in the Slack. It's very rare, but it happens. So it doesn't, yeah, I guess I'm shy of deleting things.
I gotta jump in here too with Griff, especially with crypto. There's just communications everywhere. Everywhere. People are always looking for something, and it doesn't matter how old it is. Somebody might message in it or show up in it. It's really hard just to get rid of things that could end up somewhere useful for somebody. It's tough.
Yeah, I'm gonna voice
at least until the comments of.
Yeah, so similar to what Griff is saying. When I look at the TE channel now, you know, the TE Commons is kind of its own little section. You know, it's sort of like you can just click on it and it all disappears, or click on it and it all opens up. So we are already sort of secluded. It's not like they're interspersed between all the other TE channels. And my thinking is also, if it's okay with Angela and with the TE community, it is nice to have that sort of, you know, that pass there between the token engineers who come to token engineering and, oh, there's this token engineering commons they can what is it called when you transport yourself, like transporter to the Discord. And perhaps I also like the archival aspect too, not to delete them, but maybe there is more compelling reason that I'm not just aware of. I think I would say we would move all of our daily activities to the new Discord, and then have the bridge between the new Discord and the old Discord just running, unless it's too messy for other reasons.
I think that makes sense. I think my question is just, what is the best representation of these channels now become onboarding channels to our server? So maybe it's adding pinned messages. Like, are the working groups the best representation? Probably yes. And maybe it's just adding a pinned message in getting people onboarded into our server that way. So I guess this could be some discussion, and we have some days to figure it out. But just, yeah, I guess whatever you guys think is best, and then let me know. I'll communicate to Angela, and then I can delete whatever channels we're getting rid of, I guess, which would be the voice channels right now. But maybe we just need to create an issue tab and identify what we're deleting, what we're keeping, and then I guess assigning if we're going to do pin messages and any other ideas surrounding this work. And we can come to a consensus.
What about the idea? Sorry to interrupt. What about an idea that we just like, that's not blocking launch. We launch and then we see what's useful and what's not. As this is something like I heard it recently said a few times, fast follow-up. Like we launch the new Discord and we see what's useful and what's not. Like in 2 weeks, we can decide to delete things. It doesn't have to be before we do the launch. Or is that not right thinking? All right, cool.
I agree with Tam. I think that there is no rush, like, to delete things, and maybe just like take out like the voice channels, and maybe leave the TE general and pin a message in the other working groups to the new Discord. I think that is good. And also the other idea that I want to leave in this conversation is that it would be really good to have like an inauguration event. Sebnem gave this idea, and I think it would be really good, like when we open a house and we let everyone come in and say, yeah, so like let's invite our friends. So I don't know, maybe that can be next week, maybe for the community call.
What would that inauguration look like? I love the idea, but what would it look like, sort of structurally?
It better include that meme with Moses parting the Red Sea.
It's going to be the meme and the groove bot with some music at the beginning of the call. Or we could do it together like we did with the Decentralized Dance Party and Praise Giving. We could start in the old one and then be like, everybody come now, and put the link, and then we share a screen of the Moses meme and we jump in together. It'd be 5 minutes.
I think it would be good also to invite Angela and to invite Sebnem and to invite the leaders from the token engineering space, and have some words of gratitude to them for their hosting the birth of our community inside their server, and that it's thanks to them that we are moving. It's like when you move from your parents' house, like you got to invite your parents to your house so that they feel realized about your progress.
It can present us with an NFT plant for our new house. Love that one. That's great. I'll invite Angela and Shebnem.
It could be a full praise meeting.
Say that again, Livia.
Yeah, it could be a full praise party. It could be like a whole hour of praise in the new house, and that's the updates of all we have to give the updates through praise.
Okay. We're at the top of the hour. I just want to wrap this up quickly. So we are a go for launching the Discord. There's no objections to doing it. We will sort of pre-announce it on the community call this Thursday. And next Thursday, we're moving to the new Discord and inviting the inauguration details. Jess and Juan Carlos, you guys can work out to make it cool and fun the way you do. Does that sound good, everyone? Okay.
I mean,
Thanks.
I'm there are some, I don't see the praise bot in there, and I'm not sure all the channels are bridged, so I'm not going to say I haven't.
Should we talk to Metaverde? I feel like she's the missing link. I haven't talked to her about where everything's at, so I would like definitely a thumbs up from Metaverde or a report or something to help us.
I think that there is a praise channel, and I think the praise bot is in there because I received a praise from Metaverde when she gave me the Discord. It's praise.
Yeah, I think so. I thought so too, but now I'm not sure if I'm confusing it with our new Common Stack channel. One thing is Metaverde has passed on the admin to Juan Carlos. And so Juan Carlos, I believe you're an admin now, and maybe we should have one or two other people be an admin in our Discord server as well.
Yes, I made Septimus admin as well, because I think that he's in a lot of calls, and transparency is very important to this. And the ones that you feel that are also important to have admin powers can be shared.
Okay, cool. So